Power Moves with Dr. Gladney, the show that the world has been waiting for. Dr. Gladney is the world-renowned emotional wellness expert, CEO of 24 Karat Speakers, author, and power mover. Each episode will feature extraordinary guests who've created success by making moves that led them to their power. Put on your seatbelt and get ready for the ride of your life as you are inspired and motivated to move to your greatness.
Well, hello, everybody. We are so excited. Welcome to another episode of Power Moves with Dr. Gladney. You know, on this show, we discuss those moves that motivate and move you to your greatness. We all on this journey of life have said we have this dream. We have a dream for our life, but sometimes we don't know how to achieve that dream. And I know I made some power moves when I left education because I used to be a teacher and started my own business. And then I made another power move when I decided I was going to focus on helping everybody in the world to stay sane and got a PhD in psychology, and then made another move when I opened up a speakers bureau called 24 Karat Speakers, a premium speakers agency for women of color. So what happens is we continue to make moves all along the journey. But I think it's really important that you hear from those people that are in the top 10% who make those moves, and we know about them. So I bring you amazing guests every single time. And I am excited because guess what? I bought in another cowboy. But I'm gonna tell you, this one has something that probably only 1% of the people have gotten. He was MVP in the Super Bowl. That's right, we are bringing in the infamous Larry Brown. We're so excited to have you, Larry.
Dr. G, happy to be here. Happy to be here.
This is exciting. I'm gonna tell you all a little bit about maybe what you don't know, just a few of his career heights. So, Larry, you are a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Very blessed.
Yes, Super Bowl MVP, as I said. You were on the all-rookie team, and you got the George Halas Award. You played in 95 games, 317 tackles, and 14 interceptions, and 210 interception yards.
Very, very long career. Enjoyed it, and we were very fortunate to have some success over those 9 years that I played. Absolutely.
As a cornerback. And you know, I can't say that I'm very, very well versed, even though my son played football. So tell everybody, what is a cornerback?
A cornerback tackles people.
Okay.
And he tries to prevent the other team from scoring.
Okay.
So
wow.
Yeah.
So now, do you get to choose the position that you play, or do they say this is where you need to go?
No, there's a physical side of it. For example, offensive linemen are typically 300 pounds. I'm not 300 pounds, so I couldn't play that position.
Okay.
So most positions are weight oriented.
Right.
So defensive back, so a guy that's only about 200, 205 pounds, more than likely is going to be a defensive back or a wide receiver on offense because they're not that big.
Wow. So MVP. I've only got MVP one time in my life, and it was because I was playing on the older softball team. Listen, I didn't even hit a home run or anything, but I was voted the MVP, and you could not have peeled me out of the sky. I can't imagine what that feels like to have been voted MVP at a Super Bowl game. Tell us about that.
I think you appreciate it once you're done playing. Obviously, when you're a player, you're just happy that you won the game.
Yes, yeah.
And you're not thinking about personal accolades, what you accomplished. But I think, later you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. Once you get older, you're not playing, you got kids, you realize, man, that was a special moment, and it was a good time. And but we need some new MVPs in Dallas, so we need to get back to Super Bowl soon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you had 2 stints with the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. So tell us about your journey. How did you get here?
That's a great question. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles.
Okay.
So coming from LA, I got recruited to go to a number of schools, end up selecting TCU over in Fort Worth.
Okay.
So I'm a horn frog
So you're
for my frogs out
okay.
there.
All right.
Proud frog here.
There you go. There you go. Get that in.
So went to TCU, loved my experience, stayed 3 years there, and then got drafted to the Cowboys.
Wow.
Still probably, I believe, today I'm still the youngest player the Cowboys ever drafted.
Really?
I was 20 years old when I got drafted to the Cowboys. 20 years old. I didn't turn 21 that season. So
wow.
So it was a great experience. Played for Jimmy Johnson, played for Barry Switzer, played for Chan Gailey. So just a number of great coaches. And so when I got to Dallas, I wasn't excited that I got there because they were 1-15 the year before I got there. So I said, God, you must not like me because I didn't win much in college. And now you just sent me to the worst team in football.
Oh my goodness.
So, but God knew more than I knew.
Absolutely.
And so not only did we let it go there, we ended up winning 3 Super Bowls in my first 4 years.
Oh,
So you never know the path that God's going to take you on.
Listen, look, that was so important. Did you just hear what he said? He thought, well, at the time it was the worst team, as
They
you
were.
said.
That's not thought. That's fact.
That was a fact.
They won 1 game. They were 1-15.
But you thought that you were going somewhere and you're like, oh, this is not going to be good. And then you won.
Well, in sports, I don't care what level you're on. You can be little league, middle school, high school. When you're losing, no one's happy.
Right. Absolutely.
And so we didn't win much in college. So that wasn't the best atmosphere. And now you're going to the worst team in football, who's also the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes. Oh my
Everyone who loved America's team.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, it's not going to be fun. You know, they had won. And so, but we were able to turn things around and had some success there and had a great career there. Played with some great people, the Troys, Emmett's, Mike, Dion's of the world, Darren Woodson, Charles Haley. So many great guys, Big Newton, Nate Newton, all my guys there. So it was a great experience.
Wow. So Larry, were you always wanting to play professional sports, or was that just because you were so talented and gifted? How did that?
You know what? I shared this with my wife. We had the same conversation. When I came out of school back then, the goal was graduate from high school.
Okay.
And if you graduate from high school, you did something.
Yeah.
So everything that I did was in that moment. I never looked ahead. So when I played football in high school, I only focused on that. I didn't think about college. When I had a chance to go to college, that's all I thought about. I didn't think about playing pros.
Really?
When I got the chance to play pro, because I never envisioned myself doing those things anyway. You know, once you got your high school degree, basically I was like, hey, you made it, because that was the culture back then.
Wow.
Of that's it. So I never really looked ahead, and I was also young again, doing these things.
Yeah.
So I was always focused on the moment and what I was doing there. Never thought about it. Now I felt I was pretty good, but I also knew that everyone doesn't get that opportunity.
Right.
So it wasn't for sure that I was going to get the opportunity. So maybe that's probably why I never paid much attention to it.
So you didn't start out in high school, and because now, kids start out at 5 playing football.
Yeah.
You didn't start out in high school were you thinking, okay, I'm going to go to college and it's going to pay for my college?
No.
That wasn't even
a thought. All I know is we got a game this week. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do good in this game. And then the coaches start saying, hey, man, there's some schools coming by that like you, think you have a chance. Like, oh, okay, great. Go talk to those coaches. So,
That is fabulous.
Yeah.
So you had to be shocked beyond measure to be drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that with your family and everybody, because if nobody...
So whatever I did, I always tried to be the best at what I was doing and whatever I was doing.
Uh-huh.
So in high school, I was a good football player. I knew that, even though I didn't think about college.
Okay.
When I got to college, I was a good football player, even though I didn't think about pros. So I know it sounds weird, but
I know that
it's kind of like focusing on the task in front of you.
I love that. I love that.
Same thing that happened to me in high school happened to me in college. One of my coaches said, hey, look, some NFL guys come around, they like you. They think you got a chance to be pretty good. It's like, oh, okay, great. But you don't know what to do with it because you don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
So when you're young, naive, no guidance, you're just taking it as it comes, because you can't prepare for something that you don't know.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I'd get drafted or not. I didn't know any of those things. I did get invited to some all-star games, did well there. So when I got drafted and I was at the Cowboys, I said, okay, I'm going to make the team. Again, that was the new task. All right, I'm here
Right,
now.
right.
I'm gonna be the best player I can be. So that was kind of my focus there.
So are you still that focused person? Are you just task oriented, or do you create those 5-year plans and 10-year plans and things?
I would say now that I'm older, I do think about those things a little more in advance of what I want to do, where I want to be, how I want to get there.
Right.
So I would do those same things in the moment. So for example, as a football player, if I was in high school, I had a plan to be a great high school player.
Okay.
So there was always a plan, whether it was high school, college, even though the plan was not reaching in the future.
Right. Gotcha.
There was always a plan to be there. So I've always been plan oriented. I've always been goal oriented. I'm even more so now into the future. Now that I'm older, have kids,
Yeah.
you have to look out a little bit more. So I would say I've embraced that now, and I've learned that because I had to learn on the go.
Yes.
I was the first to go to my family in college.
Wow.
So, I was the first. So I didn't have that mentorship,
Right.
that guidance.
Somebody.
You had to figure it out on your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did your parents, when you got drafted, what were they thinking? Because I'm sure that's not what they were thinking if you weren't thinking it.
I think they obviously they were excited. They were happy for it. My mom, my family. But again, once you get drafted, you still have to make the team.
Yeah.
People think that that's not the end of it.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you go back to, again, not knowing what's next. Am I going to be on this team? I'm going to make the team. So I think they were happy when I made the team and started playing. Then they said,
they were like,
a lot more comfortable. He's going to be there. Yeah.
He's there. So now, do you tell younger football players just what you're sharing with us to focus on the moment? Because I really believe that nowadays, whether it's sports or in any arena, that nobody is in the moment. Everybody is way ahead in the future and thinking and hoping and wishing or worried. They're not enjoying the moment.
Absolutely.
So is that something that you share?
Absolutely. I speak to young people all the time. I coach young people. My son plays football. He's in college now, so I absolutely share that. And one of the biggest things that I can say for me, and I'm not saying people should look at the future, but I really enjoyed the moments. That was the great thing about it, because when you're in those moments, whether I realize it or not, I really enjoyed those moments.
Right.
I remember those moments.
Yes.
Because you wasn't looking ahead. So every player I played with, every coach that I've had, sleepovers, who took me to practice when mom couldn't,
Wow.
all those things, I remember. These kids now, the relationships are different. And most of the guys I came up with, we were all close.
Yes.
Because we were all right there.
Okay.
And so I absolutely encourage kids, enjoy it.
Enjoy
the ride, enjoy the moment. I know it's hard. It's a lot different now.
Yes.
Because of the money, the attention,
it is.
the media.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot different for these young kids. The celebrity, the Instagram, all that stuff for these kids. But I hope that they can enjoy the moment, because it's if you were to tell me that a ball would change my life, I'm going to believe it. It's a ball, a little pigskin.
Okay, so
ball.
maybe I'm in the wrong profession. I should have learned the ball. I mean, I'm just saying. I think that's wonderful. Now, when you go back to South Central LA, are you that star? Or?
Well, first of all, LA got plenty of stars. You're just another guy that grew up there.
Okay. But South Central LA, and I know there's a lot of stars there
there's a lot of stars that grew up in South Central.
But
I think your friends appreciated your accomplishment. You're one of the kids that made it out.
Yes.
So I think the celebrity doesn't come from more that you play for the Cowboys. The celebrity comes from, hey man, you're in the hood just like us.
Yeah.
And you made it. And you did it. And we're happy for you.
Wow.
I think it's more of that.
Now, Larry, when did you realize your greatness?
I don't look at myself as greatness like that. I look at myself that I've been blessed to be able to do some great things.
Okay.
And I think that's separate from, I don't look at myself.
But your vessel is transferring over to those great things, to the Super Bowl MVP. That doesn't happen unless you're great.
I think every step of the way, like I said, for me, every step's been a dream. If you were to tell me a little knucklehead kid from South Central Los Angeles would come to Texas, didn't know anybody, didn't have no family here, and going to play with the Cowboys, who were not good at the time, to go win 3 Super Bowls, and to get done with that, and to have a chance to do radio and TV and a sport that I love, every day is like a dream. Like you can't believe it,
Yeah.
And but I think I think you realize things, those great moments, the older you get because
Okay.
you appreciate them. I think when you're younger and you're in the moment, you're more so enjoying it as opposed to realizing how you're going through this journey.
Yeah.
So I think maybe since I'm older, I'd probably say maybe in my mid 30s,
Okay.
I'd probably say you start realizing, like, man, you've been very blessed,
Yes,
man, to do some
yes,
great
and you're
things
great, yes,
and
absolutely.
meet some great people. And one moment I will hit after I won the Super Bowl, after the game, Jerry Jones put the president of the United States on the phone with me, Bill Clinton.
Oh, wow.
And Bill Clinton said, Larry, I want to congratulate you. I was like, wow, I'm talking to the president? I mean, a little knucklehead from South Central Los Angeles? Are you kidding
so
me?
that was the moment when
That
you realized,
moment when the president of the United States knows your name,
absolutely.
I was like, wow, that was a big moment.
Wow. Do you still keep in touch with the
No,
president?
no.
That was the
He
one
has his
time
own
deal.
issues. He has his own issues. He's got his own issues.
Yeah. He got a lot going on,
Yeah.
right? Oh, wow. That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
So now, what would you say was that one move that you made that made you put you in that power seat?
I think I separate that question.
Okay.
You can do it personally, then you have business. Because I end up going into business and starting businesses and things of that nature.
Okay.
But I would say from a personal level, surround yourself with good people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put people around you that's positive, that's moving in the same direction, and they're not there just to tell you what you want to hear. You got to have people who are going to be honest with you
Okay.
about where you are and those things. But you have to be humble enough to receive that. And if you're able to do that, I think it'll help you in many areas of your life.
So who was that one person? Because generally, it's something that somebody says, it's an opportunity that you get. Was it the fact that you were drafted? Was it the fact that you were MVP? What was it, that one, and even if it was that person speaking into you, but it was
there were
that
many.
move that you
It wouldn't be
made.
fair to name one, but
Okay.
Obviously from a spiritual level, having people to give spiritual guidance.
Okay.
When I had a chance to meet a gentleman named A.C. Green and Daryl Green, they were professional athletes when I was young, who were Christian athletes, and they were superstars. When I was younger, that probably changed me a bit. Because I didn't grow up around, I grew up around drugs, gangs, violence.
Yes.
You didn't see athletes like Daryl Green and A.C. Green for the Lakers who love God.
Yeah.
And did that. So I would say that changed my life.
Okay.
My friends, Adrian Davis, you know, my boy Ricky, we've been friends since we were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And we always said that, hey, we're going to make it out of here.
Wow.
And we don't care who go first, but whoever get out, we all coming. We all coming.
We coming.
And so,
Love it.
So when I got drafted, Adrian moved to Texas and we started our first business.
Wow.
You know, a restaurant called Boxy's Cafe. So that was life-changing. Even though it wasn't successful, it changed our life.
It was a power move. It was successful.
A move.
It was successful for that moment.
It was successful that moment.
Absolutely.
It taught us a lot.
And it taught you a lot, and it helped make you
Absolutely.
who you are.
It made us better.
Yes.
And so that was a move that was, I would say, very, very, very powerful for us as well.
That's wonderful.
But it's unfair to say one person. I've had many people speak in my life.
Okay.
From a business, from a spiritual, just friendships.
Right.
A lot of folks.
Yeah. And and a lot of times, you know, it can be one decision, but the move is a compilation of a lot of different things as well.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I took from a coach. He gave me this, Jimmy Johnson. He gave this to the team. He said, life's not about who can make the most good decisions. It's about who can make the least bad decisions.
Wow.
Meaning that one good decision can change your life.
Right.
You don't need 20 good decisions in your life.
Yes.
But that one can. So it's about eliminating bad decisions. And I would say
like that.
that stuck with me. That stuck with me.
Okay.
And,
can you look in that camera and tell people, repeat that again?
Life is not about who makes the most good decisions. It's about who makes the least bad decisions. One good decision can change your life. You don't need 20.
I never heard it and thought of it like that. Just flipping around. I love that. So I hope you all are writing it down. You got that? That is so powerful.
So I would probably say the biggest move I made in my life was deciding to come to school in Texas. I met my wife in Texas. Been married next year 30 years.
Wonderful.
We started our first business in Texas.
Wonderful.
I played my professional career mostly in Texas. So making that decision to come to a state where I didn't know anyone probably was one of the biggest decisions I made.
And you were young.
And I was young. I was 18 years old when I came.
18 years
Yeah,
old.
I didn't know anybody, not a soul.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing, amazing journey. And when we come back, I'm going to ask you, how do you maintain your emotional wellness? We come back, a word from our sponsor.
24 Karat Speakers is an elite speakers agency that represents women of color. Our agency offers boutique services to our buyers and speakers that include powerful speakers, training, product development, and client management. Our world-class speakers are experts in content and messaging and are uniquely trained to motivate audiences and excite the brain for impactful learning. Colorful women, powerful messages, changing the world. To hire one of these amazing women, go to www.24caratspeakers.com and let us help you create your world-class event.
Now that we're back, I want to know, because with all that you do and all that you've done and still doing, how do you maintain that emotional wellness, that mental wellness, that balance in your life?
I'm going to answer in a way that's going to sound silly, but it's truth. I just don't have no drama. You know, I don't deal with people that's a drama. I don't deal with no mess. I keep that away from me.
Okay.
And so keeping I call it the unnecessary. I keep the unnecessary away.
Okay.
And because life's hard enough as it is day to day.
It is.
I keep good people around.
Okay.
Right? I enjoy the people that I'm around. I think that balances my mental wellness.
Absolutely.
I don't have anybody. I've never wanted to say, I don't like this person. Why are you here? I don't do that.
Right.
So the people that I'm around, I think physically exercise.
Okay.
Because I don't think you can have mental wellness without physical wellness.
Right.
Your body don't feel right, you're always
Right.
hurting. So I try to do some activities. Golf is my sport of activity. I don't get a chance to run like I used to and work out like I used to, but that's my activity. And I think those things right there, and obviously keeping God in your life.
Right.
Between
Absolutely.
those balances right there, I think pretty simple formula.
Right.
No drama.
No drama.
Keep people around you like being around.
Ooh,
keep God in your life.
Lord, no drama.
And get you some exercise. And I think you have a good chance of having a good mental wellness.
Well, it's amazing that you're still in such good shape with all those tackles.
Well, my kids don't think so. They used to say, Dad, you used to have muscles. What happened here? Yeah, I was 20-something back then.
I'm just saying, Larry, you had over 200 and some tackles.
Yeah.
And I, not ever having somebody tackle me or had to push somebody to do it, I can't imagine all of that does to your body. But for you to still be in such good shape, that's a blessing right there.
My body has changed. It's not the same. You know, I've had shoulder surgery, foot surgery.
Okay.
I mean, so that's just par for the course.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
comes with the game of
Absolutely.
it. And some guys are in worse shape than I am, you know. So I know
I've seen
guys
them.
had hip and knee replacements. So
Yes.
I don't cry about my injuries and the things that I've had.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I'm able to play with my kids and I can move around a little bit. And so there's some functionality there.
Yeah, and your son plays football, so you were out there helping him.
I help him get going and try to get him to listen. And, you know, I'm just dad.
Of course,
so he don't
you're
listen
just
to me.
dad. He's not
He don't
trying to listen. You can't
I'm just
tell him nothing.
Dad don't know what he's talking about.
But that's good because he's doing well.
Yeah,
and I'm
he's
so
doing well.
glad.
I'm proud of him.
So now you kind of were alluding to this earlier, but what is the one thing that you would tell people that they should avoid?
Are you talking about personally or in business?
Both. Look, besides the drama, we know people should avoid drama.
Well, I think in business, if you're the smartest person in the room, you got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you have to be humble. I tell people all the time, I don't know a lot, but I know a lot of people who do.
Right.
Okay.
That's good.
So when I have access to someone who's great in accounting, or Daryl Washington who's a great attorney, or yourself, I can get to the right people. I don't have to be the smartest person in the room.
Right.
But if I can tap into your brilliance and their brilliance, it makes me appear to be smart, which I'm not. I don't have to be. So I would say get smart people around you.
Okay.
You know, bring people that are smarter than you. Okay. You don't have to know everything.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it's better if you don't.
Right.
So I would say in business, from there. From a personal life, I would say bring people around you who really love you. who really care for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all have all kind of peoples in our circles coming and going.
Yes.
My circle has been very small.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of friends. You know,
Yeah,
I know a lot of
Okay.
There's a difference between knowing a lot of people.
You're right.
And having a lot of friends.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people, but a lot of people aren't those people that spend those intimate moments with you.
Right.
And I call it moments.
Yes.
I would say try to have good moments, as many good moments as you go through this journey of life.
Yeah.
And if you have just as many bad moments as good moments, then there's an unbalance there.
Right.
How do I get good moments with the people that I am, who I choose to do business with?
Absolutely.
Where I choose to go to church, those things of that nature. I think the more of those moments like that, avoid the bad moments, if possible.
Yeah.
And I do believe a lot of them are avoidable.
They are.
I believe that.
They are.
Some people are hanging around people or want people in their life that shouldn't be in their life.
Right.
There's an old term that says some people in your life for a reason, some in for a season.
And
so find those reasons.
Yeah.
So I would say on a personal side, that's what I would say.
Okay, that's good. So now, Larry, what is your next? You have a lot of stuff that you do. So I think that you were very smart and you were on a pathway because you knew how to parlay all of your financial earnings and everything. Like you said, you started your first business when you were young. You knew how to say, okay, I'm going to do something else after football ends. Sometimes we hear these horrible stories, and we hear of professional players, either in whatever sport, and they didn't do their money right. So they end up with no money, broke, the game is over, but you were able to parlay. So why don't you share with us some of the wonderful things that you've been able to do?
The thing that I was able to do, you have to first humble yourself, and you have to understand what you are and who you are. For most athletes, that's exactly what you are.
Right.
Okay, you've been playing since you were 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
High school, college. You've never worked a 9-to-5 job before. And you don't have a skill set once you finish. Most guys don't. And so...
Wait, I never thought of it like that, that you don't have a skill set.
Yeah.
Because your body has really been the tool.
It's what you are. You are an athlete. You've been an athlete.
Wow.
You had to work. When I got drafted, I was 20 years old. I didn't go work and punch the clock 9 to 5. 10 years later.
Wow.
So now, for those 10 years, you didn't get a chance to develop skills and things as a regular person would.
Yes.
So when it's all over, you don't know what you want to do. It's like someone saying tomorrow you can't be Dr. G anymore.
Wow.
And now you're like, well, what do I do? I've been Dr. G
for all this time. Yeah.
And I think a lot of athletes come into that. I was fortunate enough. I got drafted in the 12th round, which means you wasn't supposed to make the team. So I was always aware that, hey, I had to do a little with nothing.
Okay.
And so I was always cognizant of that. And so as I started to play, I started making more money, things like that. But as a 12th rounder, you're not even supposed to be on the team.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know how that works. I know the higher you go, that's meaningful. But
and the more money you make.
So the 12th round means you're not supposed to be on a team?
Technically, a 12th rounder is not supposed to make a team.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the first rounder is.
Okay.
Okay, so
absolutely.
Back then they had 380 picks, right? From 1 to 380. I was number 320. So I still got drafted.
Okay.
So they expect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe the first 100 to be there.
Wow.
So what that did for me was I didn't come in making a lot of money. So I had to learn how to manage what I had.
Right.
And make that work. As I started to play and the success came, I started making more money. I already had that principle in me.
Good.
And I had a friend of mine, he was a Jewish brother one day. And this probably was a life-changing moment for me, too. He said, I only made $75,000 my rookie year. And he said, are you saving any money? I'm like, dude, I had to pay taxes.
Yes.
I had to buy a car.
Yeah.
And this and this and this and that. And I was giving him all the reasons
why
I couldn't save any money.
Right.
And he said, look, saving is not dictated to the amount, okay? It's the importance of it. So I don't care if you have to save $5 a month. Mm-hmm. The symbolism of it is that saving is important for me and that you're saving something.
Right.
So that changed me a little bit there when I got that advice. I'm like, wow, because I could have saved $10 if I wanted to.
Right.
But I'm thinking I'm not making any money and all these things there.
Yeah.
So I would say that information, that advice was something that also changed how I looked at money, my approach to saving, and things of that nature as well.
Look, 75,000 was a whole lot because I had Drew on. He's talked about they only made $1,000 per game.
I know. Exactly.
So y'all were coming up in the ranks.
Coming up. We wasn't
but look, now compared to now,
it's a whole different ball game.
I know it's a whole different
ball game.
So you still work with ESPN? Do you still do
I do radio. I do radio and TV for the Cowboys. I still do that. It's a seasonal job.
Right.
I still do marketing, promotions, appearances, things like that in the off season. The primary goal when I started playing, my wife Cheryl wanted to start acquiring real estate.
Right.
And we started doing some, not as much as she wanted.
Yeah.
So I should have listened to her back then. So
always the other point here, always listen to the woman.
Well, here's what I would say though.
Yeah.
I've always felt whatever you do, you should be good at what you do.
Right.
Learn your craft.
Right.
I didn't know much about real estate,
so
how it worked, and things like that. So when I got done playing, and I said, okay, Cheryl, you want to start doing more real estate? I'm going to take the time. She was already a real estate agent.
Yes.
She knew.
Yes.
But I wanted to learn the game because there's different components. There's commercial, there's residential, single family, multifamily. So where do you want to go with it? So once I retired, I started to learn more about the different areas of it. And because I'm big at learn to be good at what you do.
Right.
Don't just chase the money.
That's good.
When I was younger, I used to chase money.
Yeah.
And so I don't chase money now. Chase your craft. Chase being good at what you do. And the other money will come. So I started learning that, and we started to acquire more real estate, and we're still acquiring, and we're doing good. And we're happy about that. And so that's I call that my semi gig, because that's not full time either.
Yeah,
so I'm semi here, semi there. You know.
Well, so let me ask you this: how does it feel when people pay money for your signature? I'm an author, so I sign books. But they've already bought the book, and that's about as far. But you can sign a ball. Like you said, this ball that changed your life. You can sign a ball, and it goes for money, and people want that. How does that feel?
I put it in perspective. I'm not going to say they're signing for me.
Yeah.
They're signing based on the success that our team had.
Okay.
And I was a participant of that.
Okay.
Therefore,
that's
I get
good.
that. So,
That's good.
And I appreciate
so
their
it's
fans.
not about you. You saying it's not all about you.
It's about what we accomplished.
Okay.
Had we been 1-15, nobody wants your
Nobody wants your autograph.
Nobody wants your autograph. So it don't matter who you are. So it's about what the team and the organization accomplished, and you're appreciative of it, that you had that opportunity, because everybody doesn't get a chance to have the success that we had there.
Right.
And that carries over off the field, business opportunities, people you get a chance to meet, places you get a chance to go. So all of those things have allowed me to be blessed to carry over off the field.
Okay. This is so great. We could continue to keep going on and on, because I learn so much when I hear from other people and how your life and your power moves and what your journey was. And it's just always so great. And everybody continues to seem like that interwoven, the people that really rise to the top understand that it's not about them. They understand it was a bigger plan that God had for them and how to maneuver that. Now, I'm not saying that some people at the top don't realize that, but we already know. I know a lot of people at the top that are not happy being at the top. Yeah. But when you can make your life and mold it into something with the greatness that you have been given, I think it's wonderful. Now, all we need for you to do is sprinkle some fairy dust on the Dallas Cowboys this coming year. Sprinkle that fairy dust on there, so we can get to the Super Bowl.
I would tell your audience too, a part of success, no matter what it is number one, learn to love the process. Most people want to skip the process.
They do.
And when you can learn to love the process, and learn to love people.
Yes.
Okay, I enjoy learning. I know all my teammates. I can tell you where Troy Aikman's from, Henrietta, Oklahoma. Yes. I can tell you where Alvin Harper played at. He from Frostproof, Florida. And Mike Irvin from Fort Lauderdale, Emmett Smith, Pensacola. Get to know people.
Yes.
Get to learn. It's a lot you can learn from each other.
Yes.
And all that makes you better. And I think that if you do those things there and learn to enjoy that process, because it's not easy. Get easy out your mind, get fast out your mind.
It's not.
It's not. It's a process, but that don't mean that it's bad.
Right.
And bring good people around you. I think you got a chance to be happy and have mental balance.
Absolutely.
Mental balance.
Love what you have to say. Thank you, my friend, for joining us today. This has been just wonderful, wonderful. I tell you, every time we come here, we are bringing you life-changing things. I hope you all are taking notes and paying attention and enjoying this process. I'm going to take some really good nuggets away from here, enjoying the process, because sometimes the process is not fun, but we have to learn to enjoy it because it's all about that. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Power Moves with Dr. Gladney. I'm so excited. I'm going to have to calm down, Larry. You got me all excited here. But thank you once again. And until the next time, have a powerful day.
Thank you for joining us for today's Power Moves with Dr. Gladney. For more information or to contact Dr. Gladney, go to www.drgladney.com. Or to hire a 24-karat speaker, go to www.24caratspeakers.com. We'll see you next time.